In this video, we're going to be breaking down what's in my camera bag, case for professional video shoots that I do in my real estate media business. I recently traded in some gear and upgraded to some new equipment, and I think I finally have it dialed in to everything I need for these content shoots that we do for our clients on a monthly basis. I'll also be sharing some tips along the way on why I use the gear that I do in case you're looking to start doing these types of shoots as well. So let's get into the video right now. Wow, it's definitely taking me a minute to get started, and if you've been around on the channel for the last couple of years or since the beginning, you know that this used to be the OG set, so I decided to go back to it because here's a little tip. If you want to start making your own content, whether it's on YouTube, social media, whatever it is, if you have to constantly build your set before you start shooting, chances are you'll start doing it and then not do it, and that's happened to me so much because it just takes me 30 plus minutes to set up the old set that I was using, and then I would just not end up shooting anything. So now I can just put my camera down, record, and keep going. So another reason why I also haven't been making so many videos is because we've been doing so many of these content shoots that I'm about to break down gear-wise. So yeah, really thankful because I know some other people that only do listings and are pretty slow. So first, let me break down what are these content shoots that we do in my business, especially on a monthly basis, so you know why I'm using the gear that I'm using and have an idea of what the final product is. So in essence, it's batch shooting short form content for realtors. So whenever I started my real estate media business, we just did luxury real estate work. You know, I found the niche in the real estate market here in Houston, Texas, and I didn't feel like there was like a luxury real estate media house. And so I only started with listing content, you know, only shooting luxury properties. Funny enough, we have one later in a couple hours actually after I'm done filming this, but I wanted to expand into also video content, so we also do higher end marketing videos, social media content, and now we do these even on a monthly basis. So it's really cool because we keep these realtors or teams on monthly retainers and we produce a certain amount of content for them each month. So these plans are made up of set amount of shoot dates and a set amount of photo and video deliverables that we do on a monthly basis. So it's really cool because this secures income for the business versus starting at zero again each month and just waiting for those orders to come in. So with the equipment, even though it's titled for professional videography, all of the equipment that's in here we use for lifestyle photo shoots, listing photo and video content, short form video content, long form marketing videos. All of it can be done with the same equipment, but this is definitely oriented towards professional videography. And as you're watching this video, think more of like the type of equipment that I'm using, not so much focused on the brand. So it doesn't really matter the brand of the product or things like that, but just its functionality and its use and why it's found a way into my case, my camera bag that I use constantly now. So first, let's get into the biggest upgrade, which is my camera case. Full disclosure, this is my first camera case that I've ever gotten. Bought this case with my own money, of course. Everything that I'm going to be showcasing I've pretty much bought and just acquired over the years. And this is my first camera case. Funny enough, one of my friends that uses one of these all the time and has for years showed me a sale that B&H was having, and I got this for like 40 or 50% off. So pretty awesome. And I was kind of hesitant because I've always used backpacks. Now using this, I kind of realized how limiting that was. And definitely even just from a standpoint of being able to protect your gear. You know, it's in these protective cubes that we all use in our backpacks, but then this big hard case that is also airline approved, so that's pretty cool. This is so functional, especially because of how modular it is. So when I first got it, it came with a bunch of these already packaged in everywhere, and I was kind of overwhelmed thinking like, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work, but they're just so easy to remove and customize. I'm sure like others. Here's how I currently have it laid out. Please don't slam on my fingers. So I have my main camera body that's filming me right now that goes right here. Then my backup camera, which is my R6 Mark II right here. DJI mic, filters, accessories, a monitor, V-mount, small rig V-mount attachment, power the R5C. The lens that's also filming me right now is the 15-35, which goes in here. 24-70 RF, batteries, filter, and then accessories. And instead of having to carry a very heavy backpack all the time, which I just feel like I got used to but didn't really realize how bad that was for me, this can now roll. So it has its own handle attachment here, and you just roll it like a carry-on suitcase, or you have handles on both sides, which is really handy. Yeah, I just feel so much more comfortable that all of this is very secure. It's really modular. As you can see, you can easily customized for different setups. I don't think I could really ever go back to a backpack now unless it's just like a quick trip or, you know, if I'm traveling really light. But for professional work, this is definitely what I'm just gonna be using now. And I'll add another note that clients think you're extra professional because you're just bringing this big old thing around versus just carrying your backpack like they're used to seeing everyone else have. Okay, cameras. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's not full reviews on those, but my main dedicated camera, which is filming me right now, is the Canon R5C. I invested in that at the end of last year, and since then, it's just gotten better and better over firmware updates. You know, I feel like when the camera first came out, initially it was kind of a bit of a letdown, but I feel like it's just one of the most misunderstood cameras because I am constantly so impressed by it, learning new things, and it does what I need great. So, which is my main video camera. So, and then my B cam is the R6 Mark II. So this is what I had before. I used to only have this camera, but I've realized how important it is to have two cameras for multiple reasons. If one of them fails, or if one of them is better at another thing, or if you want to use two camera angles like I do for video shoots constantly, or you can have one fully rigged up for video, one for photo. When I used to just use this and I would be doing these content shoots, for example, if it was a photo and video shoot, I'd have this rigged up for video, then I would have to tear it down and then rig it up for photos. Really annoying. Now this can be my dedicated photo cam, that can be my dedicated video cam. Makes it so much easier. Or if it's only a video shoot, now I have two camera angles that I can use as well. So another thing that I want to add that I'll show in the B-roll is what I've added to my main camera, the R5C, which is a camera cage. This is also a first for me, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to get one because now that I'm rigging out my camera more with top handles and monitors and all of these other accessories, it makes it so much more easier and secure having a camera cage because one, it protects your camera, of course, because it's a big metal cage wrapped around your camera's body. You can add more attachments securely. One thing I didn't realize is I was using a top handle that just screwed into like the hot shoe of the camera, and after adding a lot of weight, I was really scared that maybe that was going to snap off or something. So now I can securely have it to the camera cage, way more reliable, and I get a lot more access points. For example, I can mount the camera vertically on my tripod versus actually using the tripod like sideways, which is really inconvenient. So little things like that that have made mounting the camera so much more functional. So camera cage, really recommend. I'm using the one by Small Rig. A lot of Small Rig products actually. Another thing that's not in my camera case that is also really important is what you wear. For me, when I go out on a shoot, I want to be wearing something that's comfortable yet also presentable, especially if I'm doing one of these indoor content shoots or an outdoor real estate video shoot, especially on hot Texas days that we still seem to be having, and my go-to lately has been Textail, which is the sponsor of this video. They sent me 3 new items that I'm excited to share with y'all. A fresh Stain Repel signature tee that I'm wearing right now, a pair of Stain Repel shorts, and then a Rain Repel hoodie. Now that I've worn this tee for a couple of shoots, I can honestly say that it's super comfortable and it fits me great and it feels really high quality, which is really important to me. And the fact that it's stain repellent is really useful, and honestly, all clothing should be like that because it works really well. We're gonna test that out with some red wine. I think it's 100% gone. Almost dry, so that's pretty crazy. And now for the shorts. My favorite feature has to be that they have zip pockets. Now I can put my phone in, zip it up, and I can ensure that my phone or wallet are not gonna fall out. And lastly, the Rain Repel hoodie, which feels buttery soft and is super breathable. So I'm probably gonna be wearing this on a lot of shoots through the remaining of the year. So if you're interested in picking up some clothing from Textail, head to the link in my description and make sure to use my code Andre15 to save yourself 15% off your purchase. Thanks again to Textail for sponsoring this video. Now back to it. Okay, lenses. So again, don't want to spend too much on this, but the main camera that I use for a lot of these shoots is the 15-35, whether it's these professional content shoots, real estate video shoots, the stuff I'm filming right now, the 15-35 RF 2.8, phenomenal lens. This is the lens that actually sealed the deal for this upgrade, the Canon RF 24-70. So this is a lens that I actually didn't think I would get, but here we are, and I am incredibly happy with it. So I traded 4 prime lenses for this lens. Crazy, right? But they were all older Sigma EF prime lenses from 24-35. I kept my 50, but I don't use it. It's up on the shelf. And then an 85. So I never used them. They all sat on my shelf, and collecting dust, months would go by and I'm like, I'm just not using these anymore. And so because I was so satisfied with the 15-35, I always figured a 24-70 version of that lens would be so good. And it is for one main reason, and that's the internal stabilization that it has, and of course the RF image that just looks so good. But I honestly feel like the stabilization in the RF lenses are next level, especially because the R5C doesn't have sensor stabilization, which is actually a good thing because you don't get any wobbles and you can, it's for professional cinema stuff. But now with the internal stabilization that the lens have, it actually works so well. It's hard to explain. I could probably make a whole video on this, but just the internal stabilization and the image is so different from these older lenses that it was well worth the upgrade. So I traded in all of those old lenses for this, and now I can, bring this for all my shoots. And now it's my dedicated photo cam also. This is also a phenomenal portrait lens. Again, now I use this with my R6 as my dedicated photo setup. Works so well. And again, it's not so much the brands because like I said, the other one, any other 24-70 is probably really good, but for these two specifically, they just work great for the cameras that I'm using. But 15-35 and 24-70 is pretty much all the range that I ever need for all of these content shoots and things that I do in my real estate media business. Okay, next, audio. I am still using the DJI mic. So if you aren't familiar with these are phenomenal. There's even a new version out, the DJI Mic 2. I feel like I just don't need it. These work so well still. I used to use this. So that's my boom mic, and I just leave that in my set because this just does the job so well. I'll take one of these and I'll put it on the inside of the agent talking, and I'll do that for their content shoots, avoid having to bring extra stands. A lot of echo, especially because some of these are going to be filmed vertically. I would have to have this mic way higher, and then you're just getting a lot of room noise versus this is right by their mouth, right here hidden, and it just sounds really, really good. It's just been so easy and functional. That's kind of like what my theme about this is. All of this stuff just makes the job so much easier, smooth, and functional. I don't want to make these complicated. I want to make them as short and sweet and as fast and as comfortable for the client. And audio-wise, I've never had any issues with these, and just going to keep using them because, one, they have a safety track option. So even if something clips audio-wise, like someone talks too loud, then I can still get the audio. And if I have two people on camera, there's two transmitters, and so I'll have both of those on them, and then there we go. Next, this is another new solution that I didn't really use as much, but I definitely recommend a lot now, and that is an on-camera monitor. So especially since most of us are shooting a lot of newer cameras that shoot log, and sometimes, in my opinion, the image preview isn't the best, like on this one, the R6 Mark II log preview is not that good, but on the R5C it's really accurate. An on-camera monitor can change that because now you can actually see a color-graded preview that's more accurate. You can load it with your own LUTs. You can also, this is another big thing, you can actually turn it around and show the client the point of view that you're getting, like the shot. That way they can either be like, oh, I do like that, or maybe, it's not as flattering for me, whatever the case is. So I've honestly found that I can, one, preview, what it looks like, whether it's horizontal or vertically, and I can play back the clips now colored with the LUT, whatever LUT I'm using, and they can get a better idea of what it's going to look like versus like, hey, look at this log image just to hear your audio and, pretend that it's colored, or we're going to professionally color it. Like, they don't understand any of that stuff. So being able to show them a more final result is a lot better, and I've gotten just a lot more positive feedback that way. And if you're interested, this is the Viltrox DCX3. So they did send this to me. I made a short on it. But yeah, really like this monitor. Back on the audio real quick too, you do want to also have any sort of headphones. And so here I am, monitoring my audio after I take these clips because, well, one, you can make sure that your audio isn't being ruffled or it's not clipping or something, but then when you play back the stuff to the client with your monitor, you can now just have them put this up to their ear and they're going to hear like the great professional sounding audio with a great colored image and get a way better representation of what the final product is going to look like, and you as well. Now you can kind of see what it's going to look like if it's all, correctly exposed, if the audio sounds good. So just takes away any room for error that you're going to get back into editing and be like, oh man, I messed up on that or something like that. Okay, so next, battery solutions. This might be not so important for some other people. I just don't want to deal with changing batteries regardless. Even when I was, using this, I would probably still be using this setup. And so this is the small rig V-mount adapter. This thing is really, really awesome because this can just mount, you know, on your camera like this, like that. And now you have, you know, pretty much like 3 to 4 batteries worth of power going through this. So this one is, I made a video on it, I think, right. This was sent by a company called FJ Dynamics, but I know Small Rig makes really good V-mounts. It doesn't matter the brand, but the adapter itself is actually really important because I love that. You can easily go from a handheld setup, or if you have your camera on a tripod, you can have your battery solution. But the point being, you don't have to deal with changing batteries anymore, or if you're on a really long extended video shoot, because some of these that I do might be like, you know, 3 to 4 hours or even more, like a full day shoot. I don't have to worry about it because now I can just have battery power all day and not worry about changing batteries. And so again, that just makes things a lot easier and smoother, not having to worry about that. And then on my gimbal, I use these just newer NPF batteries. I know Small Rig just made some really cool ones that have like a digital screen, USB-C out, where you can use it as a power supply, which is what I also use this for, like to charge my phone or something if I need to. This video should be sponsored by Small Rig because of how many products I've bought from them too. But this is a Small Rig NPF adapter where I just mount it on my gimbal, and then the NPF battery goes here, gives you a little battery indicator, and now I can just, with a cable on my camera right here, power the camera on my gimbal again, like all day for really long video shoots or things like that. So this is a must. Okay, next up, noteworthy accessories. And so you want to invest in quality cables. I've had mic cables kind of crap out on me, so just really make sure that they're durable and they work properly. Test them beforehand. This is an HDMI cable by Condor Blue, so really high quality, works great. Keep this in my bag with other accessories right here. And you're going to need that HDMI cable with the right connection for the monitor. And then the mic cable for the DJI mic. I actually lost mine, so that's why I had to get another one. Another thing that is a must is this Small Rig, of course, toolkit, or little multi-tool. So this is really handy. I've mentioned this in other videos, but anytime I'm having to mount the monitor or take things off or just anything else like on a tripod, gimbal, this is a really handy multi-tool. And then over here in this compartment, I have the USB-C cables that I use whenever I'm connecting this to the gimbal. So this one I use for my gimbal, and then this one I use for the camera, if it's like a handheld setup or on the tripod. And then this right here is a really important necessity. So this is an exposure tool. This is really cool because if your camera has false color, or if you're using a monitor that supports false color, you can easily get your exposure accurate. That's kind of what I did for this set when I made it. Turned on the false color, waited for the right exposure value, and good to go. And you can also use these to get custom white balance in a scene to get it accurate like I am in this set. So that just stays folded up in here. And lastly, a protein bar, because you get hungry on set, and then this will usually avoid me making a bad choice and getting Taco Bell or something. So that right there is all the gear that I carry in my case. And now there, of course, are a couple of equipment that don't go in my case, don't fit in there, that I use for these content shoots that I feel like are definitely worth mentioning. So the other things that I would recommend that you get is one very strong and reliable light. So I use the Aperture 300X that I bought last year. It's really cool because it's bicolor, so then I can also match the light for, if I'm shooting in a really warm environment or just daylight temperature or just daylight control like this. But having one good powerful light paired with one softbox and a light stand, and now you're good. Whatever your set you're dealing with, that's typically all I use is just, composition wise or seeing the way the light falls in the room, set them up, and then I just place my light accordingly. And then another awesome bonus tip of using a monitor is you can preview it for yourself whenever you're setting up that set. That way when your client sits down in the hot seat, it's ready to go. You don't have to do any tweaking and have them sitting there awkwardly like, okay, are we gonna start, or any of that. So you want a good light, and then you want a tripod. Like my camera right now, it's sitting on a tripod. So you want just a really reliable tripod for these content shoots, these talking head scenes, because it's a necessity, of course. And then a gimbal, of course, for any B-roll stuff or real estate video shoots. I'm still using the Zion Crane 4. Really, really great gimbal that I feel like has gotten even better since I got it. I feel like I didn't fully know it at first. Now it's like really, really good, which is crazy because I've only used DJI gimbals. But the Zion Crane 4 combo has been great. And then the last thing also is my drone. So if you have to get any drone stuff, I'm still using the Air 2S combo. It shoots 5.4K, 10-bit D-Log M. It's more than enough for me. And then if you do any photography, I also use the same setup that I use for my videos, so like a light stand softbox, except I'm using an off-camera flash, which is the Godox 8200 Pro. I also made a full video on that too if you're interested in doing lifestyle photography. All right, final thoughts, and then I gotta eat my lunch and go. So I hope you got some value out of this video. Again, to my point that it's not about the type of gear or the brand or like being the most expensive version of it. It's just the functionality and what it actually offers. And yeah, these things have definitely made my life a lot easier because now I just have it all dialed in. Everything has a specific use, otherwise it wouldn't be in my camera case. And all I have to do is just bring my camera case, those other external equipments like the lighting, tripod, gimbal, whatever I need, which some of those just stay in my car also, and I'm good to go. So I just feel like I finally got it down to a science because it was really difficult at first when I was doing these, and I felt like I was just not really on a flow, and it would take me longer to set up and tear down and using equipment that I was not really needing to. So now it's just in and out, super quick and easy, and I'm really happy with this setup. And don't think again, like it's not like I bought all of this stuff because I figured it out. All of this stuff has taken a long time to acquire, like my 15 to 35 RF, which is, and the 24 to 70 that I just invested in that are both like $2,000 lenses, the 2 camera bodies, all of the other equipment. It has all come in time as I just do shoots. My business was growing, then more funds that I could allocate for gear and all of that stuff. So definitely comes in time. So just again, only invest in the stuff that you really need in. And last thing I want to touch on is if you're only offering listings in your real estate media business or a real estate photographer or videographer, this is why you got to diversify. It's a weird market. A lot of our clients are slow, but they're also taking the time to invest in their video marketing and photo marketing stuff. And so that's why we're staying really busy while also acquiring new clients. And I know that, like I mentioned, some of my other friends that only do listings are pretty slow right now for that reason. So I really encourage you to diversify what you offer in your business, because even though we're a real estate media business, real estate creative agency, whatever you want to call it, we offer lifestyle photography, social media reels, higher end video content, bio videos, just anything that's in the professional video realm and also professional photography realm. We do it, and that's honestly a huge chunk of our business along with listings. So that's it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down your thoughts, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you guys to be part of the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya. Time for a super quick lunch. Oh, and thanks again for Textale for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check them out below because yeah, these are pretty comfortable. I'm just gonna wear this to the shoot.